Hey guys, thanks for clicking on the video. I appreciate to see you here. Of course, this is John with Addicted to Fishing, and today I'm going to cover one of my favorite baits all year long. And that's a lipless crank. Many people out there know the lipless crank from many moons ago from the Bill Lewis rattle trap, or maybe you knew it as the Cotton Cordell Super Spot. Today we're going to take a deep dive in, and I'm going to cover some of them. And we're going to just talk about them, what I'm looking for, some of the differences, hooks, rod reel, line, some of all those different things. In case many of you haven't seen or don't know, I have a serious problem with lipless cranks. So anyway, we're not really going to dive deep into each individual one. I will pull out some and we'll talk about them. I'm going to talk about what I got. So as we've seen in this Booyah One Knocker, this is a 1/2 ounce, and this one they call Yellow Perch. Again, Yellow Perch. We'll get it out of the bag or out of the box here in a minute. And then a good old Cotton Cordell Super Spot. And I believe they call that Foxy Shad. Those are the first two that I have here. Then all the rest of these, I got, those two I got off of Whatnot, a couple bucks. Then all the rest of these that I'm going to show you, I got on an eBay auction, and we're going to kind of talk about what I was looking for when I got them and what I didn't really care about. So the first thing I will say is what I didn't really care about was the hook quality and the split ring quality. I think that's something that we kind of get lazy. I know I do from time to time, that we need to change out. So I really wasn't worried about them. I was looking about price and colors and things of that nature. I have another 3700 watertight box. Got that seal all the way around it that I keep split rings and treble hooks in. Some of these baits I need to change hooks out. We'll go over that. I'm not going to really change them out. I got a cheap pair of split ring pliers. Got these at Walmart for a couple bucks. These have been the best ones that I have. There are some other ones out there. I've got a pack here, a little 3600 deep box that I'm going to use for like an emergency box for doing repairs. But this is just a set of KVD split ring pliers. Got the split ring there. It's got a cutter. Serves quite a few different purposes. It'll work quick on the fly. If I'm sitting here at home, I'd rather use those little Walmart ones. So anyway, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 12 more lipless crankbaits. Got them all for about 12 bucks. One of the first ones that we have, and I don't know all these colors. I think they just call this Sexy Shad. This is a Strike King KVD Red Eye Shad. And another Red Eye Shad. This guy took the liberty and put a rubber band around these hooks. Take this one off. Hooks are still sticky sharp. This one's got a little bit of rash on it. It looks like these weren't really fished all that much. Like I said, these hooks are super sticky sharp. One of my favorite baits. Hear that loud rattle. So that was the first one. Got a couple of those red eye shads. I have to go through my box, and I've been organizing things. Got a few of the different rattle traps. And the Cotton Cordell Super Spots. This is Super Spot. It's kind of a shad color. You'll notice most of my baits I try to keep in a shad color. What else do I have here? Bill Lewis bait. A rattle trap. Cotton Cordell Super Spot. Old Bill Lewis in a bleeding heart color. Cotton Cordell Super Spot. This is a good spring color bait. This came with the same ones as the Red Eye Shads. Got a couple of the smaller baits. Kind of green chartreuse. A fire tiger. Yeah, I just got a handful of different lipless. So anyway, one of the things that we have to keep in mind, and this is the reason why I wanted to talk about this after I showed their split rings. Like this little guy here, it's unmarked. I'm not sure of the manufacturer on it. It was listed as a 5/16. I broke the hook on it, but the hook was bent. So I got to change out a treble there. And I don't know if there's enough of that stub left. Yeah, you can kind of see how it was bent kind of sideways there. I don't know if it's going to show up that well. But that post is bent sideways. This one here is unmarked too. Not sure of the brand, but you can definitely see that one hook is rogue. It's bent to the side. So I gotta change them out. I look over a lot of my baits this time of the year. It's too cold to be out doing anything. Have ice in spots. Like this super spot's a good example. I hope this will show up. You can see the rust on the hooks. Rusty split rings. The top split ring on some of these is shot. I'll go through, I'll replace all that. Got appropriate size hooks. Sometimes I want to switch them out to what they call a barbarian style. Of course, everybody knows when you got a box of treble hooks, they don't come out too well, but you can see this is kind of what they call the barbarian. Like a mega bass type hook. Split rings, yada, yada, yada. I think you guys understand that. Different brands that I'll use. I mean, I carry a ton of different brands. And of course, because I don't lay them all out, they're all junked up. A lunker hunt. It's a real heavy crank, real heavy lipless. Small profile. That's one of the things you'll notice when you go through different ones. You'll have different profiles in the same weight. Time of the year where I get really excited. I start throwing this color a lot more. It's a Bass Pro Shop lipless. I kind of put all my colors together. A 6 cents, I think this one's the Quake. It's either a Quake or a Thud. Sticky sharp hooks. Another 6 cents. Again, the Quake or the Thud. Oh, Yozuri one knocker. You see all of these are in that red color. The red crawl there. One of the things I like to do this time of the year too is I'm cleaning up all my treble hooks. So this one has a little tag still left on it. If I don't have a pair of cutters and I don't have them right here, I'll grab that tag off. Clean up all my baits this time of the year. Good thing to do in the winter. A couple other interesting baits here. And these all have a different sound, a little bit of different action in the water, and a different way that they, in a sense, they die. This is the Spro. I think it was the Aruka. You can see I like the outside of the reds. I get my shad colors. the Lucky Craft LV500 or LV400. This is, or I'm sorry, the 500. This is the Max. The Mega Bass. The Vibration X. You hear the differences in them. These two are completely silent. I like to keep some silence. These are both the same bait. These are Lucky Crafts as well. I think they're stamped. Yeah, the 70 PS. But they're 100% silent. Got a couple of them. Found these at Ollie's for a couple of bucks. See what else is some of my the Rapala Rip and Rip or Rip and Wrap. A little different profile. A little different sound to it. Again, I try to keep these guys colored out. More red eye shads. I got a bunch of them. Different colors. This isn't that sexy shad. Kind of a forgive me, I don't remember all the different colors. It's kind of a spring crawl or fall crawl. Another one that I bought, and I haven't thrown these a whole lot. These are from Matsuo Lures. They're kind of heavy. I like the way they looked. I got a great buy on them. Hooks are sticky sharp. I believe these are silent. No, I'm sorry, they do have a rattle. That's a little Matsuo lure. Most of the rest of them are all super spots or actual old school rattle traps. You know, and some of those colors on, oh, I do have a couple other ones here. These are the Dual Hardcore. This one's a Silent Vibe. Silent Vibe 705. And this is not silent. Okay. What else do we have in here that's worth mentioning? Again, I'm not going to keep pulling out the same super spots. You know, like some of the colors I try to keep in different sizes. That's like that Foxy Shad. And one of the smaller. Some golds. Some bluegill colors. I don't really keep a lot of bluegill colors in these little in these little Bass Pro model. Most of them have a good rattle to them. I don't have many silent ones. So anyway, enough kind of talking about the different baits. We understand, we get it. Again, when I'm buying these cranks and I'm trying to save money, I'm looking at one, how many cranks am I getting for the price? Two, are they the colors that I want? Like for instance, this one, this red eye shad, and this red eye shad, or one package for like $4. So it's definitely a steal. The 10 or the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, the other 10 lot. I don't remember what I gave for that. It was just a couple of bucks. But again, you can go through like this red eye shad. Let me open this one up and show you here. sometimes in these auctions, in these listings, you won't pick up the little details. So that's why, especially if you're looking at crankbaits, guys, if you're worried about the hooks on used baits, then you shouldn't be buying used crankbaits. But this one has got a barb completely broke off. Sure, you can still fish it like that, but I'll replace that hook. You know, guys, let's face it, you can go out and buy packs of hooks. Let me show you one I got over here. I need to get it down anyway and get it ready. Got a couple of them here. This is the VMC 6X cone cut. There's 50 of them in this pack. I got this off of Whatnot for like $3. This you can just find it at Walmart. This is the Eagle Claw Laser Sharp 3X Treble, size 8 for the little small baits. You don't have to go out and buy VMC hooks. You don't have to go out and buy all the top line hooks. Bass Pro Shop hooks work well for me. I don't particularly look for any one type of hook. Sure, there are hooks out there that are more highly recommended. They probably do last a little bit longer. I generally don't have a whole lot of these hooks bend out on me, even the Eagle Claws. I think it's more of a confidence thing for people. Again, I'm trying to stay on a budget, trying to stay in price range. Let's open up this Booyah one knocker. This is a great Lipless. So, you hear that one knock? And I'm going to pull it out and compare it here to the Yozuri one knock. Trust me, Yozuri crankbaits get it done. Let's see, Yozuri one knock. Listen to that knock. Booyah. Quite a bit of a difference. With a one knocker, different sounds. And that all is based on the type of BB that they put in there, or whatever they're using, whatever kind of ball they're using for the knock. You're going to get a little bit different sound. But one of the interesting things that I've been discovering lately is watching some of these in underwater video footages. Mark Fisher Outdoors just did one. He's on the MLF circuit. No, MFL circuit, the Major Fishing League circuit. You can go out there and Google or YouTube him, watch some of the underwater footage. He's showing not only what these baits look like when they're swimming, you know, are they having that side-to-side shimmy? You know, most of them will run, they run this way. If you didn't know, they're not going to run like this. They run straight ahead like this. But one of the interesting things that I've seen and I've been watching and looking more and more into underwater video footage to kind of understand my bait a little bit better is, are they wobbling side to side? Also, what happens when you kill it? When you kill it, is it just taking a nosedive straight down? Or is it kind of fluttering on the way down? And that's important to know. And the reason why is there's a couple different ways that you can fish this lipless crankbait. One is you can chuck it and wind it. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can slow them. You can slow roll them, so to say. You can burn them. You can rip, pause, get some, some erratic action. And what you're looking for, in part, is while that bait is going, if you pause, how's it flutter? Is it going down? Does it take a nosedive down? To me, that's not natural. I'm not saying it won't trigger a bite. But if you have something that kind of flutters going down, it's going to have more of that natural dying bait fish appearance to it. You're likely to trick a bass into biting a lot better. Another thing to watch on some of these, I don't know which one it was, but I did have one. I don't remember the brand. I might have got rid of them because I was really disappointed in them. But when I was burning them, instead of them coming through the water, and it wasn't even just like the fastest I could burn them. Instead of coming through the water like this, they were coming through the water like this. It was completely sideways, and it was blowed out. It wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. I try to get them to, be as natural as I can imitate it. The other thing that you want with that, how it flutters to the bottom, or if it's taking that nosedive, is if you yo-yo your lipless. The LV500 out on the West Coast, especially Clear Lake, it's where it was probably the most famous fishery for the LV500. This is the 500 Max. It's a little different bait. But this bait has been, I sold that this bait, the reason why people are using that bait out on Clear Lake and it's smashing giants is the way that it has the action, the way that it dies, because they're able to yo-yo it, they're able to burn it. And not all these lipless are created equal. One is the type of material that they're made out of, so you get a little different sound. Two is how they swim through the water, and three is how they react when you kill them. And if you're wanting to imitate a natural dying bait fish, you need that bait when you kill it to have that wobble going to the bottom. Another thing that you can do when we're thinking about hooks and how it swims is changing the split ring or changing the hooks. This one is a Bill Lewis rattle trap. And you can see here they changed it to red trebles. Sometimes I won't necessarily put 2 red trebles on. I don't know if I can find one. And I probably can't find one right off the top. But here's another. Well, we'll just use this red-eye shad. We can get them apart here. Well, that's the crazy thing about these crankbaits. We use this one. This is, I think, a violet shad. Is I like to put the red hook in the front. Also, upsizing, downsizing, and hooks. It all plays a factor into it. One of the things that you try not to get is when your hooks lay flat, that they're not tangling. They can't connect to each other. There's nothing more frustrating than having that happen. Throwing it out, putting in a perfect cast, and wanting to wheel it, and all of a sudden your bait is running like this and it's spiraling. It's hung up on the line. The hooks are hung up together. So if you want to prevent that, some guys like to put the bigger hook in the front. This is just how these came to me. Bigger hook in the front, smaller hook in the back. 99% of the time, that's what you're going to see. Even on this Booyah one knocker, this is straight from Booyah. I'd fish it straight out of the box. You can see it's got like a size 6 hook in the front and a size 4 hook in the back. You can go with the short round bend hook. A lot of people like that hook. I love these Barbarian hooks. I showed you one of them. I run this on a lot of different crankbaits. You can see how that hook is shaped. Great hook. It's not absolutely necessary. Some of the things to think about with your split rings. Some people swear by a round split ring up here on the top. I'm not talking about these split rings. These split rings should be round. Some people swear by a round split ring. Let me see if I can find one here. Oh, yep, the red-eye shad has it. And some people like that oval split ring. I kind of prefer the oval split ring, but it's not a deal breaker to me. I don't necessarily have to change them out and make them all oval. I pretty much fish them the way they are. 99% of the time I'll fish the hook that come with the bait. Here's a bait that I didn't cover, but I would definitely recommend changing out the hooks on these. I haven't fished them, but I'm guessing, I don't know. Maybe they are a pretty stout hook. But this is that Walmart Ozark brand. It feels like a pretty stiff hook to me. I'm not around a bunch of giants, 10, 12, 14 pound bass, 20 pound bass. So I don't worry about the strength of my split rings and my treble hooks as much. If you're fishing around a lot of giants, you could take that risk fishing that bait out of the package the way it is, or switch it out. Yamamoto. Yep, Gary Yamamoto makes hard baits. Ooh. This one just happens to be in a red color. Boy, oh boy, the joys of crankbaits, treble hook baits. We won't pull it all the way out of there. That's a little Yamamoto bait. So anyway, guys, that's a little bit about the lures, the different things that I'm doing with my Lipless. As far as rod, reel, I prefer a regular crankbait type rod. Something 6.6 to 7.2, generally on a 6.5 or lower speed reel. I use 100% mono. The only time I don't is if I'm throwing braid to leader, and the leader will be a mono. I like having that stretch, even with a limber crankbait rod. I just prefer that stretch with these treble hook baits. Always have, probably always will. So anyway, guys, let me know what you do for lipless cranking. What's your favorite lipless? Probably my favorite lipless out of the whole bunch is probably going to be the Cotton Cordell Super Spot. One of the most affordable crankbaits still as of right now to buy. Right behind that are the Red Eye Shads and the Bill Lewis rattle traps. For the money, before the rattle traps started going up, and you can find some really good colors of the Bill Lewis baits. This is actually the old school rattling spot. But if you start looking at some of the Bill Lewis cranks, talking about paint job. Puts out some great looking baits. So anyway, real quick one, we're talking about the colors. I try to stick with real natural colors. I like my silvers, my reds. Pretty much that covers it for me. I do have some golds. I do have some other spring color, fall crawl colors. But 99% of the time, I want a shad imitator of some sort. Shad imitator. Shad imitator. I mean, you get the point. Got a lot of lipless, lots of different shad imitators. Not too many on the other crazy colors. More and more I look. I have some fluorescents, like fire tigers and greens. Fire tigers, green, yellows. I'm not saying they don't have a purpose, but they're just not high on my priority list. In that muddy to stained water, I'll pull those out. Gives me a little bit more visibility. Same thing with the white. The white to me kind of imitates that shad a little bit too. But yeah, that's about the gist of my rattle traps, lipless crankbait, super spot, red eye shad. That's pretty much what I fish with. And I fish these baits all year round. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video. Thanks for tuning in. Went a little lengthy on it tonight. Some people like that. Some people like the little bit shorter videos. I'm kind of trying to mix it up a little bit. Just try to get as much information as I can out there for you guys. Anyway, I appreciate you watching the video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We got 95% of you watching that aren't subscribers. It doesn't cost you anything to hit that subscribe button. Like, share, comment, and we'll see you in the next one.